Hello, I'm Frank Burkard Jr. from Burkard Nurseries in Pasadena, California, and I'm here to give you tips today on how do I keep snails out of my vegetable garden. Now, there's quite a few ways of doing it. There's the old-fashioned way where you use a very harsh chemical called metaldehyde. It's in both of these. This is like a little drip. You just put a little drip down, the snails come, eat it, rips them up, and they die. Metaldehyde, again, another poison. Most of us here in California, what we like to do is we like to do the organics. So what we do is, one of the baits we love would be Sluggo, which is an iron phosphate. And this particular one has iron phosphate, and it has another chemical, which is a bacteria, which kills earwigs and sow bugs. And what we'll do is we'll use those pellets, and it breaks down into iron phosphate, so it's not harmful to your body. As opposed to metaldehyde, you may not want to put that in your vegetable garden. And a lot of times you'll look at a lot of these snail baits some of the box stores carry, and it's safe to use in vegetable gardens. Well, most of us probably wouldn't want to use it in our vegetable garden. So let's think of other ways of taking care of the snails. Another one, Declet's snails. These are killer snails. They eat other snails. And what they do is, after they run out of eating all your snails in your garden, what will happen is they will eat decomposing matter only. So you will not lose like seedlings, vegetables, but if you've got cabbages that are starting to decay or they've already ripe, they will eat those. But these are great for getting good control on other snails. Then there's the snail jails. They're very simple. You have actually a liquid in here, a bait, you get them to come in. This little thing closes, they come in, closes, they're stuck inside. One of our old-time favorites would be where you take a container, and these containers are a little bit too large. You'll drown probably, maybe your dog. But what you want to do is get a small shallow container such as this, and what you'll do is you'll bury it into the soil, so the soil is level with this, so this is sunken into the ground. And then what we do is we take Brand X beer, and we've sampled it a couple of times just to make sure that it tastes good, and the snails will like it. And then what you do is you just simply take it and you pour it in here, and what will happen is the snails will crawl in because they like beer. They'll crawl in, they get intoxicated, and they drown. And then you can just throw it away. And I'd advise don't drink the leftover beer. It doesn't taste that good. Another very simple technique, which would be diatomaceous earth, and what you'll do is you'll use that because it's made by diatoms out of the sea, the living creatures, and when their bodies dry, it's like broken glass on a very miniature scale. And a lot of people will take this, spread it all over the outer perimeter of the garden, but you've got to make sure that you don't inhale this. Also, another favorite is using copper tape. And if you have a planter, you can actually nail the copper tape or have it adhesive to the outer edges of the actual container, and the snails won't crawl over because it basically burns them and makes them start to, they're basically decompose. So I'm Frank Burkard, and those are tips on how do I keep snails out of my vegetable garden.